What's up, Mortgage Coach community?
What's up, folks?
So I got Sean Herrero in Newport Beach, California. What's up, brother?
At the Savage House.
Yeah, he came by to hang out with me. He's visiting Southern California because his son's playing in a lacrosse tournament this weekend. And what, you brought the whole family down, right?
Whole fam. Well, missing one. He's in LA, but yeah, everyone else.
He's got a 20-year-old that lives in LA. So he's is he gonna come down?
He's gonna swing. He's in San Diego for some event. He's an influencer, so and then he's gonna come back on the way.
So
I'll see him tomorrow. I'll see him tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we just got back from having some fish tacos. If you're ever in Southern California, Baja fish tacos.
They're so good. They're the best fish tacos I've ever had, and I've had a lot of fish tacos.
Yeah, they were good. And you've seen this guy out on the water, so you know that means a lot. And the conversation went like this. Well, we talked about a lot of different things, some business, some non-business related. And I said, hey, Sean, how's it going? And I asked that question of a lot of top producers now. And it's not uncommon that I like, it's tough. Like this is the worst. And so I was expecting to not hear like, oh, I'm closing 15 loans this month. So why don't you answer that question the way you did for me at lunch today?
Yeah. So things are going good. We have 15 contracts right now, purchases going, 5 of which came through this week, and it's a shift. Like it has not been an easy year by any means. There was a pivot that had to happen, whereas kind of what do we do now? But it's working out now. So back in action, and yeah, helping 15 people. And a lot of it's just using the buy down strategies. I call it the psychology of real estate right now. Like we have to understand what sellers want. Once I understand what the seller wants, you can get an idea of how to put the buyer and seller together and get everyone married.
Oh, I hate it when the phone rings. I've got to tell my wife not to call me for a minute. Sorry, guys. So he said a couple things. I want to make sure we unpack in this conversation. Guys, this is streaming on Facebook. We're also got it on YouTube. So if you do have questions for Sean, someone that you closed over 200 million last year.
Yeah.
So, and that was what, your 5th or 6th year as a full-time loan officer?
I think that was my 5th year.
Fifth year.
No big team. Just me and my sister, my assistant. That's it. Yeah.
So not a big team. And I've interviewed Sean a lot of times just on that success story alone, like literally went from mentoring, training, recruiting loan officers to full-time loan officer, 50 million, 100 million, 200 million, just really a textbook story of how to become a $200 million producer. And now it sounds like you're not going to quite hit 100 million this year.
I don't think so.
90,
I think we'll get to 90.
Guys, 90 million is spectacular in this year. And here we are in November of 2022, and he's going to have a 15 loan month. So let's break it down. What did you said you had some tougher months. Mm-hmm. What did you stop doing and what did you start doing to get to where you're at today?
Yeah. So the shift was basically, so it was hard, right? So I'd say March, things were fine. Everything's fine. And then all of a sudden the rates go up, and every time rates go up, the deals become harder. I think it's just the buyer who kind of procrastinates and waits till the last minute it's just more complicated for whatever reason, or it's harder to qualify. Stock market was down 20%. So their down payment's lower. They don't have the reserves. There's just more details required in that moment. And I allowed myself to be pulled into each individual transaction. And by doing that, I wasn't marketing and providing solutions the way I normally am. And we didn't realize that until it was too late. So we hit this, head comes up and you're like, oh, we don't have any business anymore. So I was like, this can't ever happen again. We got our systems back in place. I got back to doing what I think I'm best at, which is marketing and creating solutions for people. And we're seeing the results of it now. So, we hit a lull, my own fault, no one else's. But now we're back on track, and it's been fantastic.
So takeaway number one for everyone is you can close a lot of loans in this market. And I interview enough loan officers. While I am hearing a lot of loan officers that are not killing it in this market, and everybody is having a tough year. So no one is just like, oh yeah, I'm killing it, I dodged the bullet. No, everyone is having to do different things, but there are loan officers that are closing loans. Now, I noticed you said providing solutions.
Yeah.
Because that is something I want everyone to connect the dots on. What kind of solutions are you providing in this market, and what kind of strategies are you putting out there to help realtors and help buyers?
Yeah. So it's, if you've heard me do these before, I always say I'm not in sales, I'm in service. And I think you're not selling anything, you're in service. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you find solutions to serve others. So with real estate agents, they were saying, oh, my buyers don't want to buy right now because rates are too high. My buyers don't want to buy right now because prices are too high. And I'm like, did you ask? So let's just take rates. Oh, my buyer said they're waiting because rates are too high. Did you ask them why? No. Why not? What if we can solve that problem now? What if we can use a 3-2-1 or a 2-1 buy down or a permanent buy down using the seller's money to get their rate down now? If you don't ask the questions, we can't serve or help them. So that's kind of what I approach realtors with, is you got to dig deeper. We're not order takers like we were in 2020, 2021. You have to provide value and service and solutions. For buyers, it's the same emotional, psychological play of, the rates are too high. Prices didn't come down the way I thought they would. By waiting for lower prices, my monthly payment's actually higher than it would have been if I had bought last year. I can solve that problem. So showing them loan solutions that create solutions that create the solution for their life is really what I got into. And I've been doing this, in the industry 22 years. I was never a big fan of the temporary buy downs, because I don't think with confidence we could have ever said, well, don't worry, I'll refinance you later because rates are going to go down. We know for an absolute fact rates will go down from where they are today. And having a 3-year runway using a 3-2-1 buy down as an example, I'm very confident I'll be able to do that. And if I'm wrong, they have a 30-year fix for the next 4 to 30 years anyway. So that's really what I've been focusing on, is not, so Dave always says, what's your why? Ask your clients that, ask your realtors that, and that's how we can solve their problems.
So I've interviewed enough people now to know with absolute clarity that if you are not an expert at having the 2-1 buy down conversation, the seller buy down conversation, the 3-2-1 buy conversation, if you're not taking that complex concept and making it simple for borrowers, and you're not making it simple for realtors with the total cost analysis, you're just blowing it in this market. I mean, some of the best coaches I know, they're making all their students go out there, use MortgageCoach. Like, we're having a record number of people not only signing up for MortgageCoach, but like, I need to use it now more than ever. Like, MortgageCoach has always been valuable, but giving a family a total cost analysis has never been more valuable. How would you share that? Because I know you feel that way.
Yeah.
And you've been using it for years, but why is it even more valuable now?
So for me, the 2-1 or 3-2-1 buy down, it's one of the easiest TCAs you can create in MortgageCoach, because you start off with your 30-year fix at 6.5%, and then you copy it and you make it 5.5%, and you copy it and make it 4.5%, and you copy it and make it 3.5%, and you're done. It's really, really easy. And it's one of those concepts that when you tell somebody it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand. They can't conceptually wrap their head around it, but when you show them, so it's show not tell. If you show them how it works, it's much easier to understand. It gives them more confidence, and then they can just go after the house because they know what their solution is. They know exactly what their runway is going to be. There's no variables.
So what I want to do is I want to shift. Guys, I'm going to check in a few minutes on Facebook. So anyone watching this on Facebook Live, if you have questions, I will get those in. I'll look at this in just a minute. If you're on YouTube and you put a question down below, we will make sure it gets answered. Man, I'm popular today. What I want to do now, Sean, is I want to shift to a presentation that I'm working on and just have you give some feedback on it. Okay. So, because, my job now is Mr. Mortgage Coach, Chief Innovation Officer for both MortgageCoach and Sales Boomerang, is to help, what is it now, like over 40,000 loan officers rely on us for a solution, over 300 lenders. And I'm trying to come up with my message for January. And I'm coming up with, it's like, how do we survive while rates are high, while preparing for not only lower rates, but the spring home buying season.
Right.
So like, you guys should be out there selling the problems you solve, not the product and service. And I try to eat my own dog food. I want to like sell the problems we solve, not the technology that we have. So first of all, do you think this resonates?
I think it's spot on. Yeah, spot on.
All right. So I'm not going to get through all the data and the economics. I'm going to do that in our webinar. But I think there's like 3 success principles. Now, remember, we're not only trying to win today, but we're trying to prepare as rates start to throttle down. So number 1, I always believe in every market, making your database your number 1 priority. I know you're still building your database.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to make it. Well, yeah.
No, I've got a
database now.
It's big enough. I don't know the exact number, but I have enough people.
Well, next time we talk, you
I know.
Deliver advice, not price.
Yep. Always.
That's your cornerstone.
Yeah. That goes without saying. It should go without saying.
And as a marketer, selling the problems you solve, not your loan programs and your interest rates.
Correct.
Which I would say right now in the success you're having, those are your two strategies.
100%.
Okay. So
Because, and I'll tell why the database one, it's important, but not as important to me right now because the database has been refinanced unless they're planning on moving. They're not, I do my mortgage reviews to make sure they know they have the best mortgage possible, but the real focus is on the people who are new to the database, which would be number 2 and 3.
all right. Well, let me try to reframe, and I want to try to get you to go after it even stronger and bigger. I just moved the slides around a little bit, guys.
All right.
Probably saw that. So here's why I think you need to make your database your number one priority. By the way, let me share the screen.
About to get schooled.
By the way, I don't know if I had this up and you guys all saw it a minute ago. I just realized that I may not have had that up, but these are the 3 strategies, everyone. Make your database your number one priority, deliver advice, not price, sell the problems you solve. Like, this is what my keynote's going to be in order to crush it today, December 1st. Remember, I'm creating this for kicking off the new year and really all of next year. So first of all, if you're going to prepare for the future, you need to know what's happening in your database so that you're not losing loans. And right now, guys, you are losing loans. If you got a database, you are losing more loans than you realize. If you go through the MortgageCoach sales boomerang sales process, we actually tell you how many loans you're losing every month and every quarter. But here's my point. Like right now, there are cash out refis in your database. And you notice here, we can tell you what the tappable equity is for every person you have in your database. And here's my message for you right now. Not only are those potential home improvement, debt consol, but they're also move ups.
Yep.
They're people that you can start to move up with. And one of the things we do now with our borrow intelligence platform is we integrate with MortgageCoach. So you could go from an insight in your database to an opportunity to an automated total cost analysis. So, and then here's my other thought. Pretty soon rates are going to start ratcheting down. Yep. Guys, we have a rate watch alert. We have a rate and term alert. We can tell you in your database, by the way, any database you put in our platform.
Right.
So like, let's say you bought some records or you got some records from a title company. Boom. We're going to say which one's in the money and we're going to create an automated total cost analysis. So to me, it's just a question of when rates start to go down,
right.
And what are your thoughts about last week and rates starting to go down? Do you think that's a new trend?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like that was just a one-time thing?
I think it's funny. It's a skewed report because I don't think inflation's actually down. It's just the way that the year over year report looks. It made inflation look like it was down. But I do think rates will start to come down next year because we are peaking out. They're not going to have to continue to make changes and shifts. So I think we will see, I think everyone who's buying a house right now will refinance in 2023. I think we will see 5% or lower next year. And that's kind of the psychology that I was talking about. Everyone got used to hearing 3, so they're blown away by current rates. But, you know, the new norm, if what we're used to now is,
I know this camera. I love this camera, but it's kind of moving. It's making it hard for one person. Or we just need to learn how to use it.
Yeah, or we need to, that too. If everyone's getting used to hearing 6 or 7 right now, what do you think is going to happen when they hear 4.875 or even 5? People are going to flood the market again, thinking rates went down. So buy right now while no one's looking. Take it, assuming you can afford the payment. Of course, you have to be able to afford the house. Knowing that you'll be able to refinance when rates go down, and let everyone else create the frenzy next year, driving your home values up. And that'll be the message to all my, well, that's the message I'm giving people now. And then next year, the refinance opportunity will be there.
Make sure you keep coming back to this thing. I don't know why it won't stay in one place. So I want to go through the 4 strategies in no particular order that I think if you're a manager on this, you need to make sure all your people are trained on doing this. If you're a loan officer, you need to make sure you know how to do all 4 of the things I'm going to show you right now. So one, you know, this interview I did with Jeremy Forcier on date your rate, marry the house. It is one of the most trending videos. Did you get some value from it?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's hard not to get value from Jeremy.
Yeah, I mean, everything he does.
But this one was fantastic.
So is this a conversation that you're having with folks?
Every time. I have a YouTube video on the same subject.
What do you mean you have a YouTube video?
I made a YouTube video on marry the house, date the rate, divorce the landlord. And using I need 2 TCAs to pull it off, but I'll send you the link. I thought I sent it to you.
Is it on
it's on
your YouTube channel? So
Yeah.
guys, I'm going to put a link to his YouTube channel down below so you can see how, and who is the avatar? Are you making that for realtors, home buyers, home sellers, just anyone?
Home, yeah, anything for YouTube, I try to make it reach the consumer, like, so home buyers, anyone who's nervous about should I buy now or not. That's who I want to reach, but of course, realtors eat it up too, because they can just either regurgitate it or forward it to their clients.
So remember, Sean's closing 15 loans this month and he's using YouTube. You get any loans off that?
Yeah, and I need to be more consistent on YouTube.
Okay.
I need to be more consistent.
Divorce the rent, making sure that you're doing a rent versus own. You know, Jeremy, in the interview that you'll see, I just showed the two TCAs, but I love this story, and tell me whether you're doing this much. This was a first-year loan officer. Have you heard this?
Mm-mm.
So this guy, I interviewed him last month. It was his 10th month in the business. He did $1 million in production the month before. He got this lead from a realtor because rates had gone up so much. He's like, let's wait till next year.
Mhm,
Let's wait a
mhm.
year.
Okay.
And it was single. He said, hey, you could buy a 3-bedroom house and you could rent out 2 of the bedrooms at
Oh, smart.
620,
Yeah.
invest it with a financial planner and look at what your net worth could be, even at today's rates.
Yeah, super smart.
Off the
Super
fence,
smart.
into escrow,
Yep.
rent versus house hack.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
like that?
I love that. I love that.
You do anything like that?
I'm going to now.
So we just taught Sean a strategy. And then of course, guys, did you watch this?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, this is a really good one. Nicole Ruth, I talk about it on almost every interview because it's so good. The way she's doing 2-1 buy downs. And are you doing it like this where she's showing column 1? This is buying the house with no buy down. Column 2, 2-1 buy down. Column 3, permanent buy down. Column 4, price reduction. So you can kind of see the difference between all of those.
Yeah, so I basically the same thing. I don't have the if you buy at this price one, because if I'm talking about buy down, it means we're already going to take advantage of the seller's money. So I'll compare, most of us or most home buyers go to, I want a lower price because that's how I save money. So that's my column 1 is lowering the price. And then column 2 is buy down, temporary and then permanent. And that way they can see no matter what you choose, a higher priced home using the seller's money as a credit of some sort wins every single time.
Well, you know, I just thought of something. I'm pretty sure she did this for listing agents.
I think that's what
And-
it said was listing agents.
Yeah, this is for listing agents.
Yeah,
So you can show the listing agent and look at how I can help you avoid
yeah.
or reduce a price exception. And then I want to ask if you're doing this, and actually I think I know the answer to this, and it's open house TCAs.
Mhm.
So Kelly Zitlow is doing TCAs. Are you doing any open house TCAs?
It's the only thing I use for open houses are TCAs. I don't use the open house flyer TCA. I make like the buy down type one. So what I tell people is there's,
Oh, wait, I think I might have one of your samples in here. Oh, I don't have it, but I'll have to put it in here. You gave me one, right?
I think so.
And
Yeah.
you're doing a QLR code now in it?
So I have instead of my logo, I have a QR code, for now. Yes.
Got it. So you are using MortgageCoach
That's
for
the only
your
thing.
open house experiences.
Every single time.
Cool.
That's it.
So guys, we got to wrap it up pretty quick here. Let me see if there's any questions. And what else are you doing? I know one thing that you told me about at lunch is that you've broadened your market. So you're in Danville, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And it sounds like you've expanded your market to like Stockton, Modesto, Sacramento. How much have you broadened the market you target?
So I'm a preferred lender in Virginia Beach, and I've never been there. So all over the country, because of, if everyone's going to leave California, I have to be able to lend everywhere. But, my market, and what I really focus on is I just want to help as many people as possible. The people that really seem to like working with me are first-time buyers. So I'm trying to get into markets where that's a more common occurrence. I love conventional loans because they're just easier and I can help more people faster. So yeah, broadening my market to be able to help people, more people faster. That's basically what I try to do.
So I do think that's a big move. Be very strategic. I would recommend that you think of, your database. So as you start to broaden your market, how do you leverage people that you have relationships with now to broaden that market? If you are someone that I'd say close at 15 loans a month is winning in this market. If you are winning in this market and you use MortgageCoach or Sales Boomerang, I want to interview you. My job as the Chief Innovation Officer, whether you're the executive of a large company, small company, and you want to make sure your loan officers have both the technology and the training, I want to talk to you. And if you're a loan officer, make sure you're following our YouTube channel. Any closing thoughts? Anything you think people should hear?
Yeah, the one thing that Dave just said about your database, go through your database and figure out who likes working with you. So for me, if first-time homebuyers love working with me and it's that demographics who fits me, I'm not going to go to a retirement community and market there because for whatever reason, not that I don't want to help them, but it just doesn't resonate as well, right? Though they like somebody better than me. So the sooner you figure out who your people are, the sooner you can figure out where you want to market to and help more people.
All right, guys. And, I just thought of something. I got to get one more idea
Yeah.
out of you because you told me about some direct mail strategy that you're testing.
First try.
So he's got a direct mail campaign going out. But what I loved about what I heard was that one, he's getting creative, and two, he's on the offense. He's investing in an idea. So we don't know the results on this idea, but do you mind sharing what you're doing?
Yeah. So basically, I've never done a mailer before, but with rates going down the way they did, I figure there are people who bought a home mid-October to current that could probably refinance. So I sent out a postcard with a QR code. QR code goes to a landing page. The landing page is about getting your free mortgage review. A mortgage review for me and my clients is it's a TCA. Here's your current. How do I get this in here? Here's your current mortgage and here's your new mortgage. Like here's what the refi would look like. Whether it makes sense or not, they're going to know it. Like I can send it to them and say, hey, thanks for reaching out. You're in the best mortgage possible. You should not refinance. But it's a way for me to add more people I wouldn't have known otherwise to my database. So I have no idea if it's going to work. But my whole thing is if you come up with an idea, try it. Because I've had ideas that I didn't execute on and then I regretted it. So I'm just trying anything and everything.
So guys, try ideas. If anybody else is out there doing direct mail, let me know. I'm going to be, I'm just looking for ways that are creative for loan officers and companies to win in this market. So you have any ideas? What's your son's name again?
That's Bodie.
Bodie is so much fun, guys. So say hi to Bodie, everyone. All right, man. Well, I think this has been a
Thank
good
you, brother.
little
Dude,
little
thanks for
ad-hoc
having
session.
me.
Hopefully you guys got value. If you did get value, give this a like, share it with your mortgage friends. Hey, if you could share one of your most recent seller buy down TCAs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one of your recent open house TCAs.
Sure.
I'll put links down below to those guys. And thanks everybody. It is Friday. Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
And take care, everybody. All right.